What's up, everyone? Had some questions about kettlebells, which ones to use, how to use them. So I'm going to go through some basic function, correct posture, and how to choose your kettlebell. My cat Lily will be here helping me. So let's go over the kettlebells first. 15-pound plastic vinyl coated, $12.99 at Gabe's. Don't prefer this one, it's a little slippery. 26-pound sand filled Go Ruck bag, $39.99, $49.99. Scalable weight with the sand. Not quite expecting because of how the handle moves, and trying to grip it for some stuff is a little tough. Alright, these two next, both 35 pounds. This one is Amazon Basic, painted, all one piece. You can see there's a chip in it from the paint. Doesn't affect anything, but you have to watch if you get any chips, cut your hands. This one, my favorite one here, powder coated, all one piece, 35 pounds. Yellow indicates this is 35 pounds. Or, as you can see, 16 kilograms. A lot of kettlebells go in the kilogram section. And this one's a strange one. Just a basic one, 45 pounds, 20.4 kilograms. Usually are 20 kilograms, which is about 44 pounds. Not painted, more powder coated, but it's not, doesn't feel like a complete powder coat, but it's definitely better than just a regular painted one. So, when you're doing anything, you're gonna have a couple basic movements. You want to keep your back straight. You don't bend over, you don't want to bend over like this. Pick anything up. I mean, you're gonna hurt your back. No rounding here. Shoulders back, back straight. Hinge at the hips. When you do this, you're gonna feel, when you're trying to keep your back straight, it might feel a little strange. You might really have to think about it, but you don't want to round. So you kind of hinge at your hips, go down, come up, squeeze your glutes, hinge, keep your shoulders back, your back straight. You should be able to put a board there, and it should lay from here to here. Keep your head looking neutral, how your back's going. So you're bending down, your head's looking down. Slight bend in your knees will also help. Hinge, slight bend, down. Now I got that. Move this other way. Next is squats. Something you do when every day you sit down on something, couch, chair. You're gonna do a squat to sit down. Same thing though. Straight back, very important. Weight in your heels. You're not on your toes, you're more on your heels, almost lifting your toes. In your shoes, you can almost lift them up. So, straight back. Knees are going out. Up. So pretend you have a chair here, and if you're going to sit down in the chair, your knees, make sure your knees are pointed out. You don't want them coming in. That's going to hurt. It's going to hurt you eventually. You want them pointed out. If you can get this low, good. If you can get this low, good. If you get this low, you can see I don't have good form. My back's rounded. I'm leaning forward. Doesn't matter how low you can get. If you get this low with good form, I'd rather do 10 of those, 5 of those with good form that low than 50 of these. Because you're going to hurt your back, your hips, your hip flexors, your legs. Correct form on everything is important. It's better to do 10 of one thing, correct form, than 50 of something, horrible form. So it's like you're sitting back in a chair. Now, to put these into work with kettlebells. The most common thing I would say you're going to see is a kettlebell swing. So, you pick, scale it to your weight. What weight can you do? Now remember, this will all just be with one kettlebell. If you don't know what weight, go to a sporting goods store and pick them up. See which one feels good. Don't go too heavy. Don't go too light. If you're only buying one to start, get something challenging, but nothing that's going to be too challenging. So I'm not going to go buy, to start, a 100-pound kettlebell. I'm also not going to buy a 10-pound. I need somewhere in between there, and the only way I'm going to know that is to use them, kind of gauge, maybe by dumbbells, maybe by going to a store. So the most common thing you're probably going to see, swing. So lean down, grab your kettlebell, come up, and push between your legs, thrust up. While you're doing this, your arms are doing nothing. They're holding the kettlebell. That's all. You're not throwing them up like this. You're holding the kettlebell. All the swing comes from your hips. Thrusting your hips, squeeze your glutes, but you're not leaning back. Don't lean back. That's going to hurt you. So you're down. You throw it between your, make this violent. Throw it between your legs. And then when you come up, thrust those hips. Your arms are only holding it. Now from that, do variations of it. And do one arm. Do switch arm. Just be very careful when you're doing that, as it will leave your hand. Let's talk about grip now, before we go to the next one. This, you don't want to grip like this. You don't want to have a death grip on it. You basically just want, for most part, that. Imagine a line across your hand. Your thumb to your little finger. It's not going to be perfect, but imagine that line. That is how you're going to want it. You don't want to grip it like this, especially when you start doing other moves. Now when you're doing two-handed, just like that. Alright, the next most common thing you're going to see, we just demonstrated, was a squat. Goblet squat. This is going to want to push you forward. That's why important. Weight in the heels, back straight, up. So now you have two things to build upon. Variations of the swing, squat, goblet squat. Now, we'll go into, this is where the grip becomes important. If we're doing a clean, we'll do a swing clean. So I'm going to swing it up here, bring it right there, rack it here. See how my fingers are loose. If you bring it up here, keep your fingers gripped on it, you're going to bash the heck out of your wrist. So like this, you're bashing it. That's because you're holding like this. You hold it just enough. Fingers like that. Elbow close to the body. Another explosive move from the hips, from the bottom. A lot of these are going to work your hips, your glutes, your hip flexors, your quads, your lower body, your posterior chain, your back. So the other you can do from the ground. Elbow close. There's that line you want. So now you do that. You can add clean press. We do the press. You either give it a little push press or just press. So clean press. You will notice on one side or the other, you will either be stronger or weaker on one or the other. So doing my left, it's a little more difficult because I had a shoulder injury, but you can still get it. Now with your squats, you can add that to, so with your squat, another version, rack it up. So you get it racked like here, and you squat. If you need to, you can hold it here, squat like that. So now you have your swing, your clean, your squat, and variations of them to get you started. You have the correct form, straight back, hinge, squat, straight back. But first, knees out, toes up, heels down. As far as the weight, your kettlebell, 35 is about my base standard of what I can do I do most of my stuff with. So even if it's a snatch, still 35 is good. 45 can do it, but I like the 35 to warm up with. This, I can do swings, I can do cleans, do press, a little more challenging. I might do that on the third round. £26. I'll show you sand. It's good because it's scalable, easy. Dump it out, add it in. But as you'll see, the handle swings too much. This one, light, very slippery. So if you can, powder coated or painted, still good. Amazon Basic has them for cheap for kettlebells. So this should get you started. I'll be making some more videos with some more advanced movements, a whole workout maybe. You can get an entire workout with one kettlebell in 10 minutes. You can find 10 minutes a day to do a workout. You can find 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day to do kettlebell workout, a couple rounds. You do a 5-minute round, repeat it, do it again, do it again. You're at 15, 20 minutes. Follow that up. 5-10 minutes of abs. Follow that up by a 10-minute cool down stretch. And you're looking 30, 35 minutes. Right there. You want to watch something? You turn TV on. Watch whatever you want. Most of you are going to do this. We're doing it metabolic. We're not doing it for reps. So, say I'm doing a workout. I'm going to do this for 30 seconds. Rest for 30. 30 seconds. Rest for 30. 30 seconds. Rest for 30. And then maybe do deadlifts. Sumo deadlifts. Rest for 30. Get on the ground. You can do chest press for 30. Rest for 30. With your chest press, doing this with the dumbbell or the barbell, different than a dumbbell. The weight is distributed different. You want to do some abs, core, dumbbell or barbell, kettlebell, barbell, whatever you need. But if you already have the kettlebell, you can do it. You can use dumbbell. But we'll get into more of the ab workouts later. For now, get yourself a kettlebell, get to work, practice that squat, practice your hinge. It's the most important things you're doing when you're doing kettlebell. And kettlebell is a lot more functional training. Are you going to get huge like Arnold? No. But you'll burn fat, build lean muscle, especially using that metabolic training aspect, which we'll go into more later. Thank you.